بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم. Alhamdulillah, our first fast in Rosa is completed. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accept it from us. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the strength to carry on and do even more for the remaining days of the month of Ramadan. So carrying on with the life principle that we began to discuss yesterday, وَقُولُوا لِلنَّاسِ حُسْنًا, and say good to people. The month of Ramadan is the best time to practice on this principle. And when we are fasting, we can easily become angry. And usually when someone becomes angry, that is when they become nasty or they say the wrong words to others. And as we know, the saying, a hungry man is an angry man. So this is the training right there, that when you are hungry, you have the anger. So that is the moment that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants us to train ourselves. That while we are fasting, we can easily become angry. So we remind ourselves that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching. What will happen to my fast when I become angry? What words will I end up saying? What my reaction is going to be? So we have to answer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah. So all these thoughts should come to us. In a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, he gave an advice and he says, إِذَا كَانَ يَوْمُ صَوْمِ أَحَدِكُمْ فَلَا يَرْفُثْ يَوْمَئِذٍ وَلَا يَسْخَفْ فَإِنْ شَاتَمَهُ أَحَدٌ أَوْ قَاتَلَهُ فَلْيَقُلْ إِنِّي امْرُؤٌ صَائِمٌ. So Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that when any one of you is fasting, then you should not be obscene or you should not raise your voice. You should not be obscene and you should not raise your voice. And the words in hadith used are yarfuth, yajhal, yaskhab, obscene, ignorant, foolish, to आवाज को ऊंचा करना. So all these are the opposites of good expression. So meaning that when we fast, we should not express ourselves in a bad manner, in a wrong manner, in a negative manner, in a hurtful manner. Now, you might be minding your own business, or you have a conversation and you're controlling yourself, you're doing your own thing. But then someone begins to argue with you or has a fight with you and insults you, becomes abusive towards you. Even then Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, what should you do? What should your reaction be to that? You should say to them, Inni sa'im, that I am fasting. So if the fasting person is commanded not to react to anyone who insults him, that when you are fasting, someone insults you, then you will insult back. But when you're fasting, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is saying, do not react, do not insult back to anyone. Then how can it be appropriate for us to mistreat someone or be the first to insult someone else? So this is, in a hadith, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, as-siyamu nisfu as-sabr. This is the patience there. That fasting is half of patience. That you are patient with yourself, with people, with your ibadah, with hunger, thirst. There's so many things involved. You don't get sleep, this happens, that happens, but it's all fasting. So half of our fasting is to do with patience. So fasting helps us control our negative emotions and helps us always say good and also be good to others as well. And the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir, that the person who believes in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the person who believes in the last day, the day of judgment, فَلْيَقُلْ خَيْرًا أَوْ لِيَصْمُتْ, that this person should either say good or remain silent. So from this we understand that using good words, speaking good, addressing people in the right manner, they are the essential parts of our belief, of our iman. That if you have iman, you believe in Allah and you understand on the day of Qiyamah, if you don't use graceful language, then you have to answer to Allah on the day of Qiyamah. So part of being a believer is that you have good language, you have good words, you are graceful in every manner. Once Umar radiallahu anhu came to Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu and he seen him pulling his tongue. So he's saying, Ya Amir al-Mu'mineen, Khalifa to Rasulullah, the Khalifa of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that what are you doing? He was pulling his tongue. What are you doing? He says that this tongue has taken me to places of destruction. This is Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu saying, this tongue has taken me to places of destruction. And then he adds to that and he says, Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam has said, there is not a single part of the body that does not complain regarding the sharpness of the tongue. Not even a single part of the body that does not complain about the sharpness of the tongue. So Abu Bakr radiallahu anhu, he's a Khalifa, the best person after Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, is sitting down and contemplating and pulling his tongue and reminding himself the consequence of a loose tongue. He is rebuking and disciplining himself, the closest companion of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So we need to do the same as well, contemplate, reflect how to overcome the looseness of our tongue. And he emphasized this point by saying the hadith of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that because of the tongue, each and every part of the body complains. Why? Because the tongue says something, but the whole body will bear the consequence of the actions of the tongue. So when we say something, we will face the consequence of our words in our lives, in our homes, in our families, in our communities, in our relationships, in our friendships. And then on the day of Qiyamah as well, finally, this consequence will be what? That each and every part of the body will be thrown in the fire of Jahannam. So this one tongue, one word, one negative thing that you said will be a means of being thrown in the fire of Jahannam, and that is the consequence of it. So that is why he was there pulling his tongue, reminding himself. And today we are so loose with our tongues. We don't look. We don't think it's the right moment. Remember yesterday we said that say the right thing in the right manner as well. Many times there are things which are happening which are wrong. They need to be addressed, but they have to be addressed in the right manner as well. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us understanding. Mu'adh ibn Jabal radiallahu anhu used to say that talk to people less. Talk to people less and talk to Allah often. Logo se kam baat karo, Allah se zyada baat karo. For perhaps your heart will see Almighty Allah. लोगों से कम बात करो, अल्लाह से ज़्यादा बात करो, हो सकता है कि तुम्हारा दिल अल्लाह को देख ले. So in a hadith we hear, man samata naja, the one who kept silent, he has saved himself. So the people that we interact with throughout our lives, there are many. The believer, non-believer, the pious, the impious, generous, stingy, calm, or angry, humble, arrogant. So many types of people that we interact with. Thus, this principle of saying good to people is of immense practical benefit throughout our day. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us the ability and strength to discipline ourselves and train ourselves in this month of Ramadan to say good, but otherwise remain silent. And today is Thursday night as well, Friday is started. So this is the day when we should increase our salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So in Dalum Bari, every Thursday there is a gathering where they recite durood. So one scholar, he had visited there and he seen one student, his tongues were very busy. So he said to him, what are you doing? So he said, I am reciting salawat. He goes, how many are you reciting? He said, 1,000. He said, do you do it because it's Thursday today? He goes, no. This young child is 11, 12 years old. He says, every day I spend 1,000 salawat I send. I recite 1,000 durood and salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Ye hai ishq. Ye hai ishq. Ye hai zaman ka sahi istemal. So today is Friday, the day where the hadith mentioned we should send abundance of salawat upon Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us tawfiq to send durood upon the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and utilize our moments properly. So